There's a drug you've taken today. You didn't buy it, you didn't inject it, and you probably didn't even know you needed it. But you checked for it every few minutes. When you posted that photo, when you opened your messages, when you refreshed that feed, hoping for another tiny red heart to appear, this drug isn't chemical, it's psychological, and it's called validation. The strange truth is that most of us are addicted, not to success, not to love, not even to money, but to being seen. We crave proof that we matter, in likes, in views, in approval, in attention. And the moment it fades, we start chasing the next dose. This is the hidden addiction no one admits. Because, unlike alcohol or drugs, it doesn't destroy your liver. It destroys your sense of self. Today, we'll uncover where this craving comes from, how it quietly controls your decisions, and why, in the age of connection, we've never felt more invisible. Before there were likes and followers, there were tribes. Tens of thousands of years ago, survival wasn't a solo project. Your ancestors needed the tribe for food, for safety, for reproduction. Being accepted wasn't optional. It was life or death. Rejection meant exile. Exile meant starvation. And so the human brain evolved a primitive, powerful mechanism, the craving for social approval. When others smiled, you felt safe. When they frowned, your brain registered pain. Literally, in the same region that processes physical injury. This ancient wiring still runs your modern mind. That's why, even today, when someone ignores your message, you don't just feel slightly annoyed, you feel hurt. That's not weakness. That's evolution whispering, stay with the group or you die alone. But here's where things changed. In ancient times, validation came from a few dozen people who actually knew you. Today, you're judged by millions who don't. And the tribe has gone digital. In 2009, Facebook engineers were testing a small feature, a thumbs-up icon to express approval without words. It was called the like button. It seemed harmless, efficient even. But behind that blue symbol was a psychological revolution. Each click released a burst of dopamine, the same neurotransmitter triggered by gambling, sugar, or nicotine. Every like became a micro-reward. The brain, confused but thrilled, learned a new equation. Validation equals pleasure. Soon, every platform copied it. Hearts, stars, retweets, reactions, views. A global marketplace of validation was born. And humans, brilliant, insecure, tribal creatures, couldn't resist. By 2012, studies from the University of California showed that social media engagement stimulated the brain's reward centers in nearly identical ways to addictive substances. We weren't just sharing photos anymore. We were feeding on approval. But addiction never stays innocent. At first, it's connection, then it's competition, then it's comparison. Soon, the brain starts needing external proof to feel okay. Without likes, you feel ignored. Without attention, you feel unworthy. Without an audience, you feel like you don't exist. Psychologists call it validation dependency, the emotional reliance on others to define your self-worth. And it shows up everywhere. The person who can't post a photo without checking the comments. The entrepreneur who refreshes analytics more than he creates. the teenager who deletes posts if they don't reach enough likes. In every case, the brain is chasing that same ancient signal, am I still accepted by the tribe? The problem is, the digital tribe doesn't care about you. It cares about content. You've become a performer in your own life, measuring identity through engagement. And when the applause fades, so does your confidence. In 2019, former Facebook executive Chamath Palihapitiya made a confession. He said, "We have created tools that are ripping apart the social fabric of how society works." He wasn't exaggerating. The algorithms weren't built to make you happy. They were built to keep you hooked. Each scroll, each notification, each "someone liked your post" was another dopamine hit, precisely timed to keep you returning for more. In behavioral science, it's called a variable reward schedule, the same trick used in slot machines. You never know when you'll get your reward, so you keep pulling the lever. Except this time, the lever is your phone. Here's the hidden cost. When validation becomes your drug, authenticity becomes your casualty. We've entered an era where people don't just live, they perform. We curate our joy. We filter our pain. We script our authenticity. Success isn't what feels right. It's what looks right. And as the world rewards appearances, substance quietly dies. One 2022 survey found that 68% of Gen Z felt anxious when their posts didn't get enough engagement. Half admitted they'd rather appear successful online than actually be successful offline. We've mistaken visibility for value, and it's killing self-awareness. People are working jobs they hate just to afford lifestyles they can post. They're losing sleep chasing admiration from people they'll never meet. They're trading presence for presentation. And ironically, the more validation we seek, the emptier we feel. Let's go deeper. When your brain links validation to self-worth, you unconsciously start building your identity for others. You stop asking, "What do I want?" and start asking, "What will they like?" Every decision becomes a subtle performance. Your clothes, your opinions, your career, even your silence. But the more you build this external self, the more your internal self withers. It's like a mirror house. You keep adjusting your reflection, forgetting who you are beneath the glass. And here's the paradox. Validation feels like connection, but it actually deepens isolation because the more you depend on others to confirm your worth, the less you trust your own voice. This is the invisible prison of the modern mind. Shiny, connected, and profoundly lonely. Validation isn't limited to social media. It's embedded in our systems, especially wealth and success. Think about it. The pursuit of money often isn't about survival anymore. It's about status, about being seen as successful. Luxury brands don't sell fabric. They sell recognition. A logo isn't cloth. It's social proof. In finance, investors chase not just profit, but prestige. Owning the right assets, joining the right circles. It's validation dressed as ambition. Even in business, CEOs announce record profits, not purely for economics, but for ego. Their market value is often tied to public perception. We've built an economy of attention, where visibility is currency and silence is bankruptcy. YouTubers burn out chasing algorithmic validation. Influencers fake luxury to maintain the illusion of relevance. Ordinary people buy dreams on credit to feel seen. And yet, beneath the numbers, there's a quiet exhaustion spreading like smoke. People are starting to realize no amount of applause fills a hollow core. Eventually, every addiction reaches its breaking point. For some, it's burnout. For others, it's depression. For many, it's that silent moment at night when the notifications stop and they realize they don't know who they are without them. The world grows quiet, and in that silence, truth appears. You were never chasing likes. You were chasing love, not from others, but from yourself. Every "look at me" was really "please see me." Every "I'm doing fine" was really "am I enough?" And that's the great irony of validation. The more you seek it, the further you drift from the one person whose approval truly matters, your own. Breaking this addiction doesn't mean abandoning people. It means reclaiming your sense of authentic self-worth. Here's how it begins. Step 1. Learn to sit with silence. The first stage of withdrawal isn't digital, it's emotional. When you stop seeking validation, you'll feel invisible. That's not failure, that's healing. Silence forces you to face the truth you've avoided, that you've been performing for approval, not living for meaning. Step 2. Redefine success in private terms. Write down what success means if no one could see it. Would it still matter? Would it still feel fulfilling? When your goals stop depending on applause, you start living in alignment, not performance. Step 3. Give the validation you crave to others. Ironically, one of the fastest ways to heal from external need is to redirect it inward out. When you appreciate others sincerely, you shift from seeking attention to creating connection. Because connection, not validation, is what the human brain was truly designed for. The addiction to validation reveals 3 powerful truths about human nature. Lesson 1. We are wired for belonging, but starving for meaning. The more we chase approval, the less we feel understood. Belonging was never about numbers. It was about depth. Lesson 2. The self you build for the world will always need repair, but the self you build in silence becomes unshakable. Validation fades. Integrity endures. Lesson 3. True confidence isn't built when people clap for you. It's built when you keep going, even when they don't. We live in an age where attention is the new oxygen. Everyone's fighting to be seen, but no one's asking why. What if the next evolution of human consciousness isn't about more followers, but about fewer masks? What if the real rebellion is learning to be content without applause? The truth is, validation isn't evil. It's just a reflection, a mirror that shows how deeply we all want to belong. But like any mirror, if you stare too long, you forget what's behind it. So maybe the goal isn't to destroy the need for validation, but to master it. To use it consciously, not be used by it. Long pause. Voice softens. Because the moment you stop performing for the world, you start living for yourself. And that is where freedom begins. If this message resonated with you, if you've ever felt trapped in that loop of needing to be seen, remember, awareness is the first act of liberation. Share this video with someone who might need to hear it. And if you're ready for more content that dives deep into the psychology of modern life, subscribe and join me on this journey of understanding. One mind, one truth, one awakening at a time.